Welcome to Those Guys Sports. It is your boy Mike, and in this conversation, I'm talking about my beloved Toronto Raptors. Now, before I discuss the Toronto Raptors, I have to bring this guy up because I feel like I may bring him up again and again throughout this video slash. It's not really a podcast, probably a much shorter. Probably I don't know how long it's going to be, whatever how long it is. I just know that I wanted to talk about this every other hour. We are getting Damian Lillard updates. We're getting Damian Lillard updates. I just read right now, like literally a minute ago, that the Chicago Bulls are interested in getting into the Damian Lillard sweepstakes. They're interested, maybe if not getting Dame, maybe a Tyler Hero. I don't know what the idea of who they want to get, but for some reason they're interested in also adding on. Then there's a report a few hours ago that Dame, no matter what team he goes to, Toronto, if he goes to Toronto, he's still going to ask to go to Miami. No matter what, he wants to go to Miami. And I think he just released some music, so that's why he's has appeared on a few podcasts recently. He's appeared on a couple things talking, and he's right now he's the talk of the town. Yes, we hear the Giannis conversation in the background. Giannis is talking, he's thinking about this and that. Who knows what's going to happen? But the Damian Lillard conversations are tiring, kind of tiring. It's like, damn, Dame, like I know you're gonna get traded. You're gonna get traded. I think it's gonna happen. Preseason starts in a few weeks. Media day starts legit. Like I swear, media day starts next week. It starts next week for some teams. I know for beginning of October, it's for some other teams. Like, damn, like this just has to happen. I think where we just got to get to where we need to get to. This is kind of getting a little bit boring. Yeah, a little bit boring, I must say. A little too much, I have to say. But in saying all that, and what I gotta finish off by saying is, Dame, if you want to come to Toronto, we'll treat you well here. We do need a point guard. Now, do I agree with letting go of everyone for Dame? Not too sure. He is older. He's still electric. That can't like the way he shoots, he can still be in the league for another 5, 6 years. So why am I, he may lose the eliteness in like year 4, but I think Dame is going to be an elite shooter for a while. And his ability is always going to be good. Him and Steph are two people who are always going to age well, just like the way Ray Allen aged well. Ray Allen became a spot up shooter, but he's the one guy that if you left open, he would hit a game 6 winner or tire to lead you to an overtime to win and to win an NBA title for LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh because of a sharpshooter in Ray Allen. So that's exactly what a Dame or Steph can be. So I always will believe that Dame is going to end his career very well. But it's more like, what else are we going to see? You know, I don't know if I'm a big fan of letting go of a Scotty Barnes, or letting go of a Pascal for a Dame. Now, if you're telling me, which I've seen a bunch of packages, if one package is for, an OG, Chris Boucher, Thad, that would probably get you your money, plus probably 2 first rounders unprotected. I may do it. I may do it for a Dame because that just makes you real good. It makes you real good. You got that. You got Dame, you got Gary Trent, you got Scotty, you got Pascal and Yak as your starters, and then and you still got Barnes as your future. So it's still a good thing. Plus you still got a bench, probably led by Dennis Schroeder, but you can get some other guys. I think you can package something, but no matter what, I think you still got the main two there overall. Now, let me get to my actual point of this whole conversation. Some of you have seen the Balls Life or have seen the Rico runs and some sort of platform on YouTube, more than likely. And you have seen or you saw that run, that recent run, Enrico, that had a bunch of Raptor players. It had a bunch of the young guys, and it had, the guy that I'm main reason for this video, Scotty Barnes. And primarily, you saw Scotty do a bunch of different things. He attacked the post. He shot the mid range. He played amazing defense. Yeah, it's a run. It's not going to be as intense as the NBA, but you saw the activity from Scotty. You saw the talking from Scotty, and it makes you just go like, What should our expectation be of Scotty Barnes? Well, like it's gonna change so much. Like I'm saying it now, it's gonna change multiple times. Honestly, it is because of what you want to believe Scotty can be. I ultimately think that the best version of Scotty Barnes is a better version, a scoring version of Draymond Green. If Draymond Green was, the defense was all elite defense, I think Scotty can have all elite type defense. Now, the scoring is going to be better on a Barnes than it would be on a Draymond Green. Same thing with a Ben Simmons. I think Barnes can be a better version of Ben Simmons overall, which is it's all NBA player. Draymond's all NBA, and so is Ben Simmons. So I'm basically saying the best version of Scotty Barnes is still an all NBA player. And you have him with a Pascal Siakam, who is an NBA player by himself, is an all NBA player. So we're talking about Scotty Barnes. What we want to see from him this year is aggressiveness. We have to see that aggressiveness for 48 minutes. He can't come in and out. I think last year we saw a lot of his great moments and a lot of his bad moments. And because one thing he lost a lot of was energy. He said it himself that he felt like his energy wasn't there. Us watching it as fans, we could see that Scotty Barnes' energy wasn't there. That same like happy-go-lucky kid that won Rookie of the Year was not there last season. If you were watching the Raptors throughout, you did not see that at all. Scotty Barnes he's an energizer bunny. You need that energy. That's what he's good at. He should always bring that energy. If I'm a coach, I'm calling out Scotty every time I don't see him smile. Forget the play. Scotty, if you're not smiling, I don't like it. Yeah, you can complain about a play, whatever. But you and your positive attitude makes everyone better. Now, if you're one of the top players on the team, we need that positive attitude. Pascal's not going to be that verbal. Pascal's not going to talk too much. He's going to show through his game. But that's what we're going to need Scotty Barnes to do. Talk a little bit more. He said it in a recent interview. With the loss of Fred VanVleet, you're losing that additional vocal leader. That's time for him, a guy like Pascal, to step up. Luckily, we still have a Thad Young. We have a Garrett Temple who can help these guys and tell them these are the mistakes that they're making on court because they are veteran leadership. And I always feel like veteran leadership is always going to be needed. It's always going to be something that you want. So as I said, first thing you want from Scotty is aggressiveness. Second thing, attitude. I kind of just mentioned it now. His attitude has to be there consistently. I need positive attitude. I need positive Scotty. Yeah, there'll be bad games, and there has been, but as long as he knows that he is learning, that's all we need to. That's all we need to see, right? As long as we can see Scotty making those strides, what else can we ask for? Is Scotty gonna be the number one option on a championship team? Maybe not. But once again, if you look at the league, how much number one options do they really have? We can name them. It's not too much. There's probably 8 number one options who can lead your team to a title, no matter who else is on the squad. Honestly, with that type of knowledge, there's probably like 4 guys who, no matter the squad that's on their team, can lead. That's Jokic because he's proven it. That's LeBron proven it. Durant and Steph Curry and Giannis. That's 5 guys. Name me someone else who's led their team to a title. Jimmy Butler would have been on that list because he's led like some of the least amount of talent. He's probably the next echelon guy besides those 5 guys I just mentioned. But Lucas still has to show more. And B definitely needs to show more. So it's hard to say like if Barnes is gonna be that guy, because how much guys are those guys? Like, come on. There's not a lot of guys who show that. But that's another thing that you want to see Barnes. So like I said, aggressiveness and his happiness. And what we want to see is, to me, is what I want to see. His jumper improve. Yeah, the 3-point shot. We all want everyone to shoot 36, 37% 3-point. No, I want Scotty to be able to shoot the jumper at a consistent level that if he's open, he hits them with a true shooting of like 70%. I'm serious. If he's open for that jumper, I want it to be automatic. Him and Pascal, they're both 2 guys. I feel like that jumper needs to just always be butter. Chris Bosh style, just butter. When you have him in that elbow, they're not missing it. And that's what I want to see from Scotty. Like, I want to see the jumper improve, the aggressiveness. Like, even if he goes to the free throw line multiple times, I would love to see that from Scotty Barnes. I think that's what we need to see. Because Scotty, He has all the talent in the world. We all see that. I think a lot of people were down on him. A lot of people after his rookie year were ready to trade him for Kevin Durant. I don't know about that. Could that have helped the team? Potentially. Who else would have been traded on that? Who knows? But that's something I really want to see from Scotty. I think this year could be this is the year. It's unfortunate, it's the third year, but and we should really shouldn't be labeling such young players and saying that if you don't perform this year, we're out on you. What I can tell from the Raptor fan base is that if Scotty doesn't perform this year, they're out on him. Now, Pascal, let me go to Scotty's lines. And I'm probably gonna do this multiple times of where I feel Scotty's lines could be at. But if I just think about Scotty's lines, I'm gonna say I believe Scotty should be without a Fred VanVleet, I want Scotty to give me like I'm gonna say 19 points. He has to be very close to 20 points a game. So I'm gonna give it like a 19.5. You can see the way you want to see it. 19.5. I gotta get 7 assists from Scotty, and I gotta get 7 rebounds. That's a complete game. Like that's all-star type numbers. That's Ben Simmons type numbers. So that's what this year of Scotty I would like to see. 19, 7, and 7. Lead the second unit with a Dennis Schroeder when Pascal's on the bench and kind of have him just be that lead guard because I don't know, is Schroeder gonna start? The man was the MVP in EuroLeague. How do you tell the MVP in EuroLeague to come to the and I mean in that Euro tournament, or America's tournament, I should say, come and not start for a team that's like it's not like he's going to the Lakers where there's guys who should start over him. Who's starting over him? Who are you saying is actually going to start like unless you just go all length, all size, like what else are you really doing? But yeah, so Pascal is the next one I'm gonna talk about. All I want to see from Pascal is I want Pascal to be a hog this season. Yep, that's all I want from Pascal. Word aggressiveness. Back to the word aggressiveness. Pascal should be the most aggressive player on the team. I don't care if he tries to shoot 22 shots a game. I'm all for it. I'm all for Pascal becoming a ball hog a little bit. The team's going to need it. Without Fred VanVleet, you're going to need the additional ball handling. You need additional playmaking, and that's what he's going to do for you. And he's going to have to go to the line a little bit more than he has. I would like to see if I have to say something about Pascal's game, like the jumper is always something I'm going to want to see. I want him to still play back to the basket, and if he has the ability to, because his spin move, no matter what, unless they're going to get 2 guys on him, still hard to beat because if you've ever played basketball, having someone post you up, physical, and then spin on you, it's still a nightmare. So unless you have the quickness of a Giannis or an Anthony Davis, it's gonna be hard to be consistently guarding a Pascal when he backs you down, and does a spin move on you. So something I want to see Pascal do a lot is be aggressive, and score as much as possible. I'm not going to go through every single person, just the people I generally just want to talk about. But Pascal's numbers this season, I want 25 points. I want 7 and 7. I want 25, 7 and 7 from Pascal. I want 19, 7 and 7 from Scotty. I just want them to be all around players because this team's going to need it as much as anyone else. Those 2 guys are going to have to be catalysts for most assists throughout the team. They're going to have to help the team a lot with the shooting because they're the 2 guys who lack the shooting and everyone else are better shooters, so we want them to be as aggressive as possible. The pick and rolls with Yak, all the dribble handoffs with Yak are so capable because those 2 guys with the length and size and hopefully the ability to shoot the jumper can help them out. I want to talk about Gary Trent because you hear reports, you hear people talk about him all the time, and they're saying he's getting better. In that Rico run, probably the second best guy to a Scotty Barnes. And Scotty Barnes was like the best player throughout the whole run. The only team that beat them was their own Raptor team. So like, no, that Melton team, Melton in these runs has looked really good. But I want to see Gary Trent on just to score the ball like we all want. Is he going to come off the bench? If he's coming off the bench, then that green light needs to be dark green for Gary because you're going to need it. You're going to need Gary to feel like no shot is a bad shot. I need him to be aggressive again. This whole team just has to be aggressive. And I think those 3 guys are going to be, in my opinion, should be your 3 leading scorers. And I'll get to OG. Those should be your 3 leading scorers in that sense. And Gary should average 20 points a game. He should. The team needs it. The team's going to need the scoring. So I would say Gary should give us that like that I see someone say that Norm Powell type, 20 points, maybe like 3 to 4 rebounds, maybe 2 to 3 assists. I'm not asking Gary to pass the ball a lot. I know that's not his forte, or that's not something that's not something we need him to do. We have these two guys, plus we have Dennis Schroeder. We have our additional ball, and even Gary can play some point. But when Gary plays point, I want just a lot of pick and rolls and let this guy have the action to score the ball as best. Give this guy the ability to score. But yeah, we all have heard the contracts for Gary. I think after the Dame thing happens, then you'll see a Gary Trent contract. I don't think you're going to see a Gary Trent contract until you see Damian Lillard. Also, I hear there's some reports of that both sides are a little bit opposite on what they want to do. I can kind of see that. I'm not sure if I'm one to want to pay Gary any Tyler Hero money. But if we see some Tyler Hero production, why not? I think at the end of the day, Gary's probably your best version of your closer because his ability to get to the basket. He's the best overall scorer on the team. So I can still see a Gary being that like closer for you. As long as you have a closer, that's fine. Once again, Giannis is not the closer. Giannis will get the ball sometimes at the end of the game, but the real closer is Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton because those two are the best at getting the shot off. Whoever gets the shot off is the guy that you want, and that's Chris Middleton. And that could be Gary Trent as well. So the next guy I'm going to talk about probably about the big four. Maybe I'll get to everyone else in the next podcast. Talk about the rest. That'll be more of a podcast. This is more just a video. The fourth guy I got to talk about. I'll talk about Yak too. I'll talk about those five guys. So OG. I've always just wanted OG to just give me 16 points, probably like 4 to 5 rebounds, and like maybe 3 assists. A complete game. I know I'm asking for a lot of assists from everyone, but I mean these are the guys who are going to handle the ball the most. I just want OG to focus more on defense. Um, I know everyone wants to see OG become like we all see what Mikal Bridges did, and Mikal Bridges is a guy that I would love if OG had Mikal Bridges like upside. Oh, this team would be what you would have to actually make the team be much better. Because if Mikal Bridges was on this iteration of the Raptor team, you would think they're much better because you believe Mikal can give you 25, you believe Pascal can give you 25. That's your two top scorers plus a Barnes, plus you have Gary, you have a bunch of players, great defense. I think you would believe in them more. And I think sometimes we rely so much on OG's what we believe OG can be, and something I think that we could be misinformed. I still think OG can give us an efficient 16 points a game, great defense, and one of those guys who could just help your team win games, doing a lot of the little things. And that's all I want to see from OG. I don't have high expectations of OG because I'm not one of those people, once again, who believe OG's a 24-point scorer that we're hiding based off the things that we're doing as a team. I see OG as a 16-point game scorer, maybe 18 points, but that's ultimately what I see of him. And in some same breath goes with Jakob Poeltl. I don't need Yak to ever score 20 points a game. He's done it like one time. Yak just has to make sure he gets those rebounds, be a good team rebounder in the sense of other people get rebounds based off his blocking and his box out, I should say. That's what I want him to be. I want him to be a great rim protector. I want him to kind of get out of the way if Pascal and Scotty Barnes want to get into the lane. I want him to have, I think he has a little bit of a floater for his size, and I'm hoping that can continue. His soft touch has never been as great as someone like a JV, but you want to see that he can hold his own, play great defense, be a great anchor, lead a top. I think this team can still arguably be a top 10 defensive team this season because of a Yak, a Barnes, a Pascal, even Dennis Schroeder and OG, of course. So I still want to see all that from Jakob Poeltl. We signed him to be efficient, and I don't believe he wants to have a scoring role, but he wants to make sure he has a role. He's still a guy that you probably want to play 30 minutes a game to bring out his max effort, and that's what I see from Yak. I think he could just be he can really give us like 10 points for sure. Probably do you get maybe a 10 and 10. I know it'd be harder if everyone's rebounding the ball at a sufficient rate. But if he can give us something like that, that'd be even better. I believe in Yak. I definitely believe in Jakob Poeltl. There's some games you're gonna need him to rebound a lot more. Some games you need to play a stronger defense when he's guarding against some of the better centers of the league. But I believe in Yak. He's a solid, very solid center for this team, and I'm not really gonna ask much of him. Now, do I think the Raptors center should be more of the mold of a Brook Lopez, a Miles Turner? Yes, that would really make a Pascal and Barnes much better. But that's who we have now in Jakob Poeltl, and I'm happy with that. But that's just what I want to see with the first 5 guys on the Raptors. Like I said, there's so much more Raptors to talk about. The Rico runs were very impressive. I love Marquise Noel. I actually, I want to see some regular season minutes. That's for sure. That's a guy I want to see more of. Malachi didn't do as much as I wish he did. Boucher to me has a ceiling, which is a good ceiling. Precious Achua. Okay, we got to see something, or he's definitely a person I would definitely consider trading if the opportunity arises. Now, if this Dame Lillard thing happens, it could happen. Who knows? But make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow the TikTok, which is those guys sports. I talk about all sports, like hockey's coming up, baseball season with Blue Jays, and everything else is on. It's on the popping, man. It's coming. The interviews are gonna come soon too, because especially coming to the season, that's when the best time to do these interviews. Of course, I'm talking wrestling again because it just hasn't been as fun as it's been now, and just I look forward to talking more about the Raptors. The season's coming, so it's gonna be good. Peace.